What if the key to overcoming life's toughest moments isn't in avoiding challenges, but in learning how to grow through them? Stick with us until the end, and we'll show you how Stoicism can help you not only achieve personal growth, but also cultivate unshakable peace, resilience, and true fulfillment. Number one, control what you can. A Stoic approach to reducing stress and anxiety. Have you ever found yourself stressing over things you can't control? The weather, the economy, the actions of others, all of these seem to weigh heavily on our minds. But what if I told you there's a powerful philosophy that could help you let go of these worries and regain control over your peace of mind? That philosophy is Stoicism, and it has some life-changing wisdom to offer. Imagine this. You're stuck in traffic, running late for an important meeting. You feel your stress levels rising, or perhaps you're at work, dealing with a colleague who just doesn't understand your point of view, and it's pushing all your buttons. We've all been there. It's easy to get overwhelmed by situations outside of our control. But what if we could approach life with a different mindset, one that focuses on the things we actually have power over? That's where Stoicism comes in. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is a simple yet profound idea. The only things you can truly control are your own thoughts and actions. Everything else, the weather, the economy, how others behave, is beyond your control. And once you accept this, a sense of freedom begins to emerge. The Stoic sage Epictetus teaches us about the dichotomy of control. Simply put, it's the idea that there are two categories in life: things we can control and things we can't. And while it's natural to want to change or influence external events, Stoicism urges us to focus our energy on what lies within our power: our own thoughts, our reactions, our intentions. Let's break this down. Picture a situation that typically causes you stress. You're facing a challenging conversation with a boss, or perhaps dealing with a personal crisis. What usually happens? You feel overwhelmed by the situation itself, right? You want to control the outcome, manage how others respond, or change circumstances. But here's the thing. You can't control how others react or the outcome of the situation. You only have control over how you respond to it. When you shift your focus to the things you can control, your mindset, your behavior, and your emotions, you begin to reduce the anxiety and frustration that come with trying to control everything else. It's like you're taking the reins of your own inner world, and that's incredibly empowering. Think about how this works in real life. Imagine you're faced with something completely out of your control, like a sudden change in your work schedule or an unpredictable event that disrupts your plans. Instead of letting your stress spiral, you can ask yourself, what can I control here? What actions can I take to move forward despite the uncertainty? This simple question brings clarity and shifts your focus from frustration to action. Here's the magic of it. By practicing this Stoic mindset, you not only reduce your stress, but you also build resilience. You become less affected by external chaos because you've learned to master the one thing you have full authority over: yourself. And when you do that, life's challenges seem much more manageable. Accepting that there are things beyond your control doesn't mean giving up. Far from it. It's about finding peace and strength in your ability to respond thoughtfully to what life throws your way. Stoicism teaches us that while we can't control the storms, we can control how we sail through them. So the next time you find yourself in a stressful situation, remember, focus on what you can control: your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. Let go of the rest. In doing so, you'll find greater peace, less anxiety, and a stronger sense of inner calm. Let Stoicism guide you towards a life where you are the master of your own reactions, regardless of what's happening outside. After all, the only thing you can truly control is yourself. Number two, the power of acceptance. Finding peace in life's uncertainty. Have you ever felt like life is a constant roller coaster? One minute, everything is going smoothly, and the next, you're hit with unexpected challenges. It's easy to get caught up in the chaos, but what if I told you there's a way to navigate all of life's ups and downs with grace and calm? That way is acceptance, and it's a powerful tool that can help you achieve inner peace. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's most revered Stoic philosophers, has a lesson that resonates through the ages. Life is full of both triumphs and tribulations. It's not about avoiding life's difficulties, but learning how to accept them with a calm mind. In his meditations, Marcus Aurelius encourages us to embrace the uncertainty and ever-changing nature of life, and in doing so, find the inner peace we so desperately seek. Imagine this. You wake up to an unexpected situation, maybe a sudden change in your plans, a disagreement with someone close to you, or an issue at work that's completely out of your control. Your immediate reaction is frustration, anger, or even anxiety. It's natural. We've all been there. But here's the key. Acceptance can change everything. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that resisting change or trying to control the uncontrollable only leads to turmoil. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we try, we can't control the outcomes of every situation. Instead of fighting against this truth, Stoicism encourages us to flow with the changes, to accept them as part of life's natural rhythm. Now, this doesn't mean we become passive or indifferent. Acceptance in Stoic terms is not about giving up or resigning ourselves to fate. It's about recognizing that there are things we cannot change. And rather than wasting energy on those things, we focus on how we respond. When life throws challenges your way, it's important to remember that you can't control the world around you, but you can control your reaction. Think about it. You can't change the weather, the economy, or how others behave, but what you can do is adjust your mindset. You can choose to accept that change is inevitable, and by embracing it, you release the burden of trying to control things you have no power over. This mindset doesn't just help you in times of stress, it's a practice that brings you peace even in the most turbulent of times. Acceptance allows you to live in harmony with the flow of life. It teaches you to savor the sweet moments without clinging to them, and to face the tough times with resilience, knowing they too shall pass. Here's a simple way to put this into practice. When you face something difficult, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what can I control here? Often the answer is your attitude, your thoughts, and your actions. Focus on those and release the need to control everything else. This shift in perspective is incredibly freeing. It opens the door to inner peace. By practicing acceptance, you become more than just a passive observer of life. You become an active participant who is in control of your inner world, regardless of the external chaos. When you stop fighting against the flow of life and start moving with it, you find that peace is not something you have to chase, it's something you can cultivate within yourself. So the next time you find yourself facing a challenge, remember Marcus Aurelius' wisdom. Accept the uncertainty, embrace the changes, and maintain your calm. Life will always have its ups and downs, but by accepting it all, you can discover a sense of inner peace that remains unshaken no matter what happens around you. Number 3, practice mindfulness. Unlock inner peace by living in the present moment. Have you ever caught yourself spiraling into worry about the past or stressing over what might happen in the future? It's a trap we all fall into. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, reminds us that the key to tranquility is living fully in the present moment. In a world where distractions are endless and worries about yesterday or tomorrow often cloud our minds, this idea might sound too simple to be true. But trust me, it's more transformative than you think. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a busy day, juggling work, family, and life's demands. Your mind is racing, filled with regrets about what happened yesterday and anxieties about tomorrow. You feel overwhelmed, disconnected, and unable to fully enjoy anything in the present. This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is about being completely present, engaging fully with the here and now, without being lost in past mistakes or future fears. It's the art of tuning into the present moment, noticing the sights, sounds, and feelings around you without judgment. It's about truly being in the moment rather than living on autopilot. Seneca, in his wisdom, suggests that mindfulness is essential for maintaining inner peace. Why? Because when we're caught up in the past or future, we're not allowing ourselves to experience life as it is right now. The past is already gone, all in too from time to time. But what if I told you that there's a powerful, yet simple way to break free from that cycle and find peace? The answer lies in practicing mindfulness, and it's one of the most profound lessons we can learn from ancient Stoic philosophy. And the future is uncertain. But the present? The present is where we have power. By focusing on what's happening in the moment, we can let go of unnecessary stress and emotional baggage. Think about how often we dwell on past mistakes, replaying old conversations or missed opportunities in our heads, or how we constantly worry about the future, imagining all the what-ifs that haven't even happened yet. These thoughts take us out of the present and pull us into a whirlwind of anxiety and regret. But mindfulness allows us to release these distractions. The practice of mindfulness isn't just about sitting in silence and meditating, though that can be part of it. It's about engaging with the present in a way that nurtures our well-being. Whether you're having a conversation, walking outside, or eating your favorite meal, mindfulness means giving your full attention to the experience at hand. It means feeling the sensation of your breath as you inhale and exhale, listening fully to the sounds around you, and embracing the simple beauty of the moment. And here's the beauty of it. The more you practice mindfulness, the more natural it becomes. At first, it might feel a bit forced, like you're trying too hard to stay in the moment. But over time, as you continue to practice, you'll find that the noise of the past and future quiets down. Your mind will become clearer, your stress levels lower, and your sense of peace will grow. Mindfulness is a tool that helps us return to our center no matter what chaos surrounds us. By focusing on the present, we break free from the constant barrage of distractions and anxieties. It helps us make better decisions, be more compassionate, and experience life with a deeper sense of gratitude. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed by the past or worrying about the future, remember Seneca's timeless advice. Practice mindfulness. Take a moment to pause, breathe, and reconnect with the present. You might be surprised at how much calmer, more grounded, and at peace you'll feel. In the end, the present moment is all we truly have, and embracing it fully is the key to maintaining tranquility. Number 4, cultivate resilience. Turning adversity into strength. Life is full of challenges. Whether it's a difficult job, a broken relationship, or a personal crisis, adversity is something we all face at one point or another. But here's the big question. How do you deal with these challenges? Do you see them as insurmountable obstacles or as opportunities to grow stronger? If you've ever felt defeated by life struggles, it might be time to adopt a powerful mindset, the Stoic mindset. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that stood the test of time, encourages us to approach adversity not as an enemy, but as a tool to build our inner strength and refine our character. Today, I want to share with you how Stoicism teaches us to not just survive hardships, but to thrive because of them. Imagine this. You're hit with a setback, something unexpected and difficult. Maybe you've been passed over for a promotion at work, or maybe you're dealing with a personal loss. Your first instinct might be to feel defeated, to wallow in frustration, or to give up. But here's where Stoicism shines. It teaches us that life is not about avoiding adversity, but learning how to face it with resilience, courage, and wisdom. The Stoics, philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca, believe that challenges and hardships are inevitable, but it's how we respond to them that defines us. They didn't see hardship as something to fear or avoid. Instead, they saw it as an opportunity, a chance to test their strength, to refine their character, and to prove their ability to remain calm and composed even in the face of life's storms. In fact, one of the core principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This teaches us to focus only on what we can control and to let go of everything else. We can't control the circumstances we find ourselves in, but we can control how we respond to them. This idea is incredibly empowering because it reminds us that we have the power to choose our reactions, no matter what happens around us. Take, for example, a storm. A storm can't be avoided, but you have a choice. You can either let it shake you to your core, or you can stand firm, knowing that you have the strength to weather it. The Stoics believe that we are like trees in a storm. Our roots are our inner character, and adversity is the wind that tests how deep those roots go. The stronger our roots, the less the storm can shake us. This mindset doesn't mean that we deny our emotions or ignore the difficulty of the situation. It simply means that we embrace adversity as a natural part of life, a part of the process of becoming stronger. When faced with hardship, the Stoic approach is to ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? Instead of looking at challenges as punishments, we start to see them as opportunities for personal growth. When you face a difficult situation with this mindset, you begin to build resilience. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone who is capable of overcoming anything that comes your way. Over time, as you continue to embrace adversity, you develop a deeper sense of inner strength, patience, and wisdom. Each challenge you face becomes a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of yourself. So the next time life throws a curveball your way, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Don't shy away from adversity. Face it head on. Treat it as an opportunity to grow, to test your resilience, and to build your inner character. As you do this, you'll find that you not only become stronger with every challenge, but you also develop the peace and clarity to face life with unwavering confidence. In the end, resilience isn't something that's built in times of ease. It's forged in the fire of adversity. And the more challenges you face with a Stoic mindset, the more unshakable you become. So embrace the storms. They are the very things that shape your strength. Number 5, choose your response, the Stoic power of resilience and wisdom. Have you ever felt completely overwhelmed by something that happened to you? Maybe it was a rude comment from a colleague, an unexpected setback at work, or a personal crisis that shook you to your core. It's natural to want to react immediately, sometimes with anger, frustration, or even fear. But what if I told you that the most powerful thing you can control is not what happens to you, but how you choose to respond? In the chaos of life, one of the most valuable lessons comes from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to navigate life with wisdom and resilience. Stoicism reminds us that while we can't control external events, whether it's a traffic jam, an unexpected bill, or someone else's behavior, we always have control over our response to those events. Imagine this. You wake up late and suddenly everything seems to go wrong. Your car breaks down, you spill coffee on your shirt, and you miss an important meeting. What do you do? Do you let frustration take over, letting your whole day spiral into negativity? Or do you take a step back, pause, and choose how you will respond to the challenges in front of you? This is where the wisdom of Stoicism comes in. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Think about that for a moment. In any situation, no matter how difficult or frustrating, you have the power to decide your attitude, your actions, and your approach. The key is understanding that your response is a choice. The Stoics believe that it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments and reactions to those events. For example, getting stuck in traffic isn't inherently stressful. It's our thoughts and emotional reactions, like thinking, I'm going to be late and ruin everything, that create stress. But if we choose a different response, like accepting the situation, staying calm, and focusing on making the best of it, we can transform that stress into an opportunity to practice patience and resilience. One of the core ideas of Stoicism is the concept of control. While external events are beyond our control, we always have control over one thing: how we respond. It's about training our minds to react wisely rather than impulsively. The more we practice this, the more resilient we become. For example, think about a time when you faced a challenge or setback. How did you react? Did you dwell on the negative aspects, or did you find a way to look at the situation from a different perspective? Stoicism teaches us that no matter the situation, we can choose to respond with calm, clarity, and strength. Instead of reacting emotionally, we can pause, reflect, and decide the best course of action. It's not always easy, of course. Some situations are tough, and our emotions can easily take over. But the more we practice choosing our response, the easier it becomes to stay centered in even the most challenging circumstances. Resilience isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about how we respond when life doesn't go according to plan. So the next time something unexpected happens, whether it's a small inconvenience or a major life challenge, remember this: you always have the power to choose your response. Don't let external events control you. Instead, choose to respond with wisdom, patience, and resilience. With practice, this stoic mindset will transform how you navigate life's ups and downs, helping you stay calm, focused, and in control, no matter what comes your way. Remember, it's not what happens to us that defines us. It's how we respond to it. Number 6, limit excessive desires, the Stoic path to inner peace. Have you ever felt like no matter how much you achieve or how much you have, it's never enough? The constant pursuit of more, whether it's wealth, fame, or material possessions, can leave us feeling perpetually unfulfilled. We live in a world that constantly encourages us to want more, but is this endless striving really the path to happiness? Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, would argue that it's not. Instead, he teaches us that moderating our desires is the key to achieving true inner peace. Think about it. In our modern world, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that if we just had a little more money, a bigger house, or more social recognition, we would be happy. We're constantly told to keep up with the Joneses, to measure our success by how much we accumulate. But the truth is, the more we chase after external rewards, the more disconnected we become from our inner selves. Seneca's teachings provide a different perspective. He argued that desire itself is the root of much of our suffering. We're always striving for something we don't have, thinking that acquiring it will bring us satisfaction. But more often than not, once we attain what we desire, it never feels as fulfilling as we imagine. The cycle begins again, and we're back to wanting more. This endless cycle can lead to anxiety, stress, and a constant sense of dissatisfaction. So what's the solution? Moderation. Seneca believed that achieving inner peace requires us to limit excessive desires. It's not that we shouldn't want anything at all. Rather, we need to practice discernment in what we pursue. Instead of obsessing over external markers of success, we should focus on cultivating contentment with what we have and finding joy in the present moment. Moderation in desires is about recognizing that happiness doesn't come from the pursuit of more, but from the practice of being content with less. Seneca believed that those who desire too much end up living in a state of constant longing, always feeling like something is missing. But when we moderate our desires, we free ourselves from the constant chase and allow ourselves to be at peace with where we are right now. This doesn't mean you have to give up all ambition or stop striving for improvement. Ambition is fine, but it should come from a place of genuine desire to grow, learn, and contribute, not from a need to prove yourself or fill a void. The key is to pursue what truly matters to you and align it with your values, rather than being swept away by the endless pursuit of external validation. Let's take a moment to reflect. How often do we fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others? Whether it's on social media, in our careers, or in our personal lives, it's easy to start measuring our worth by what others have or what they've achieved. Seneca's advice is a powerful reminder to step back and focus on our own lives, our own growth, and our own sense of fulfillment, rather than being caught up in an endless race for things that ultimately don't bring lasting happiness. When we learn to moderate our desires, we can start to see that true happiness comes from within, from cultivating gratitude for what we already have, and from developing a sense of peace that's independent of external circumstances. As Seneca wisely said, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. By limiting excessive desires, we can cultivate a life of simplicity, clarity, and most importantly, peace. So, the next time you feel the pull of endless desire, whether it's for more money, more followers, or more possessions, remember Seneca's timeless wisdom. True peace lies not in the pursuit of more, but in the cultivation of contentment with what you already have. By moderating your desires, you'll find yourself living a more peaceful, fulfilled life, free from the endless cycle of craving. Number 7, be virtuous. The Stoic guide to inner peace and strength. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, distracted, and disconnected from our true selves. We're constantly bombarded with external pressures, whether it's chasing success, dealing with stressful relationships, or simply trying to keep up with life's demands. But what if I told you that the secret to lasting inner peace and resilience doesn't come from external success or validation? Instead, it comes from something much deeper. Living according to virtue. That's right, virtue. It's not just a nice concept. It's the cornerstone of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to cultivate a life of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These virtues aren't just ideals. They're actionable principles that guide us toward true contentment and inner peace. But how do we apply them in our daily lives? Let's dive into how these timeless virtues can help us become the best version of ourselves and find peace amidst life's chaos. Wisdom, the key to clarity and understanding. The first virtue, wisdom, is about understanding the world around us and our place within it. It's not about knowing everything. Instead, it's about having the ability to see things clearly, to understand our thoughts, and to make decisions based on reason, not emotion. Wisdom allows us to make informed choices, to navigate life with clarity, and to stay grounded even when things are uncertain. In a world that's often clouded with distractions and misinformation, wisdom gives us the clarity to find our way, stay focused, and stay true to our principles. Courage. Facing life's challenges head on. Next comes courage. Courage isn't just about physical bravery. It's about having the strength to face life's challenges with resilience and determination. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when it's difficult or unpopular. Stoicism teaches us that courage is required not just in big dramatic moments, but in the everyday decisions we make. Whether it's speaking up for justice, taking risks to grow, or facing your fears, courage is what empowers us to push through adversity and rise above difficulties. It's what allows us to live authentically and boldly, no matter the challenges we encounter. Justice. living with integrity and fairness. Another essential Stoic virtue is justice, which is about treating others with fairness, compassion, and respect. Justice, in the Stoic sense, is not merely about legal systems or societal rules. It's about doing what is right in every aspect of our lives. It's about ensuring that our actions align with the greater good and working toward creating a just, harmonious environment wherever we go. This virtue teaches us to care for others, to give them their due, and to act with integrity. In a world often divided by selfish interests and inequality, embracing justice can guide us toward creating more harmonious and compassionate relationships. Temperance, the art of self-control. Lastly, we come to temperance, which is about moderation and self-control. It's the ability to enjoy life's pleasures without becoming enslaved by them. Temperance teaches us to avoid excess, whether it's overindulging in food, spending too much money, or seeking constant validation. When we practice temperance, we're able to live with balance and restraint, leading to a more peaceful and contented life. It's about finding harmony between our desires and our higher purpose, and not letting short-term pleasures disrupt our long-term peace of mind. How these virtues lead to inner peace. So how do these virtues tie into inner peace? When we live according to these principles, we create a life that's aligned with our deepest values. We stop being driven by external circumstances and start making choices that reflect the best of who we are. This alignment brings a profound sense of peace because we're no longer fighting against ourselves. Instead of being tossed around by life's ups and downs, we maintain composure, confidence, and clarity, knowing that we are living in accordance with what truly matters. By cultivating wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we build a solid foundation that supports us through the most challenging times. These virtues help us stay calm, resilient, and grounded, no matter what life throws our way. Final thoughts: the path to a fulfilled life. If you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, remember that true peace doesn't come from external success, but from living a virtuous life. Stoicism offers us the tools to become the kind of people who can face life's challenges with wisdom, courage, fairness, and self-control. So take a step back, reflect on these virtues, and ask yourself, how can I live more virtuously today? The answers will guide you toward the inner peace and strength you're seeking. When you choose to live by these principles, you'll find that the path to fulfillment isn't about chasing after more. It's about embracing the virtues that have been guiding people toward peace for centuries. Number 8, understand the transitory nature of life. Embrace impermanence for lasting calm. Have you ever felt like life is constantly changing? Like you're caught in a whirlwind of events, emotions, and challenges? One moment everything seems perfect, and the next, it all falls apart. It's easy to feel like we're at the mercy of the ups and downs of life. But what if I told you that there's a timeless lesson that can help you stay calm, composed, and grounded, no matter what life throws your way? The secret lies in understanding the transitory nature of life. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, shared a profound piece of wisdom in his meditations. Everything in life is temporary. He urged us to recognize that all experiences, whether joyous or painful, are fleeting. The high moments, the low points, the triumphs and the struggles, they all come and go. Nothing is permanent. This insight, while simple, is one of the most powerful tools we can use to cultivate inner peace and resilience. Why impermanence is the key to calm. The idea that everything is temporary might seem obvious, but it holds a transformative power when we truly internalize it. When we accept that all things are temporary, we free ourselves from the grip of attachment. We stop clinging to fleeting moments of happiness, and we stop fearing the inevitable hardships that life brings. Instead of feeling devastated when something goes wrong, we recognize that it's just part of the natural flow of life. a wave that will eventually pass. Think about it. How often do we get stuck in the past, wishing things could go back to the way they were? Or how many times have we worried about the future, anxious about what might happen next? The Stoic wisdom reminds us that all these feelings are rooted in attachment to what is impermanent. By understanding that nothing lasts forever, we begin to live more fully in the present, appreciating what we have without holding on too tightly. A life without clinging, embracing the moment. When we truly grasp the concept of impermanence, we can start to embrace the ebb and flow of life with a sense of ease. Life isn't meant to be perfect or constant, and that's okay. In fact, it's the very nature of change that gives life its richness and depth. The good times become even sweeter because we know they won't last forever, and the bad times become easier to endure, knowing that they too will eventually pass. This understanding allows us to face any situation with greater composure and perspective. Whether we're facing a personal crisis, a failure, or a loss, we no longer see these moments as permanent markers of our lives. Instead, we understand that they are temporary challenges, part of a larger journey. This mindset helps us avoid falling into despair or frustration because we know that both joy and pain are transient and that we have the strength to handle whatever comes our way. How to apply this wisdom daily? So how can we apply this Stoic lesson to our everyday lives? It starts with changing our perspective. When you face a difficult situation, whether it's a setback at work, a disagreement with a friend, or even a personal health issue, remind yourself that this is not permanent. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and acknowledge that this moment, however challenging, will pass. The key is to accept the impermanence of every experience without getting too attached to the outcome. When you're feeling overwhelmed by life's unpredictability, return to Marcus Aurelius's wisdom. Nothing is permanent. This simple reminder can help you shift your focus from worry to acceptance, from fear to courage. By recognizing the temporary nature of all things, you give yourself permission to let go of what you cannot control and to remain calm in the face of uncertainty. Finding peace in the present. In the grand scheme of things, life is full of cycles. Everything changes and everything passes. When we accept this truth, we stop fighting against the natural flow of life. We stop resisting change, and instead we begin to flow with it. This doesn't mean we become indifferent or passive. On the contrary, it empowers us to act with wisdom, knowing that we can't control everything, but we can control how we respond. So the next time you find yourself struggling with life's ups and downs, remember Marcus Aurelius' timeless advice. Embrace the transitory nature of life. Accept that both the highs and lows are temporary, and allow this wisdom to help you stay calm, centered, and at peace. When you stop clinging to what is fleeting, you unlock the freedom to live fully in the present moment, embracing both the joy and the challenges life has to offer. Number 9, the value of gratitude, a path to peace and fulfillment. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the endless pursuit of more success, more money, more status. We're constantly bombarded with messages telling us what we should want, what we should achieve, and what we should be. Yet despite all this striving, have you ever stopped to wonder if we're missing something crucial? What if the key to happiness and peace isn't about gaining more, but about appreciating what we already have? Seneca, the renowned Stoic philosopher, believed that true peace comes not from chasing what's next, but from practicing gratitude for what we already have. He encouraged us to shift our focus away from what we lack and instead direct our attention to what we can be thankful for. This shift, he argued, is transformative, not just for our happiness, but for our inner peace. Gratitude, the simple yet powerful practice. At first glance, gratitude may seem like a simple concept. After all, It's just about saying thank you, right? But gratitude, when practiced deeply, is so much more than a polite gesture. It's a mindset, a way of seeing the world that shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance. Instead of dwelling on what we don't have, we choose to acknowledge and appreciate the countless things in our lives that are already good. Take a moment and think about all the small things you might overlook on a daily basis. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the taste of a good meal, or the love of family and friends. These things, while often taken for granted, are the foundation of a fulfilling life. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, allowing us to find joy in the present instead of always yearning for more. The power of focusing on what we have. In Seneca's view, the root of much suffering lies in our tendency to focus on what's missing. We live in a culture obsessed with more possessions, more experiences, more accomplishments. This constant longing for what we don't have often leads to frustration, dissatisfaction, and anxiety. The more we focus on what's missing, the more disconnected we feel from the abundance that already exists in our lives. By practicing gratitude, we change this narrative. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we begin to see the richness of what we already possess. It's not about denying the need for growth or improvement, but rather acknowledging that there is already so much in our lives to be thankful for. Gratitude helps us build contentment, allowing us to find peace in the present moment rather than in the pursuit of endless goals. Gratitude brings peace in life's challenges. Another profound way that gratitude impacts our lives is by helping us navigate difficult moments. Life is never without its challenges, and when adversity strikes, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and defeated. But even in the most difficult circumstances, gratitude can help us maintain our peace. Seneca teaches us that even when things are tough, there is always something to be grateful for, whether it's the support of loved ones, the strength to keep going, or the lessons we learn through hardship. In fact, practicing gratitude in times of difficulty can be one of the most powerful ways to maintain inner peace. It shifts our perspective, helping us see that challenges are temporary and that we can find growth and wisdom through them. Instead of getting lost in negativity or despair, we can choose to be grateful for the resilience and lessons that come from adversity. A daily practice for a better life. Gratitude is not just something we feel in the moment. It's something we can actively cultivate in our daily lives. Start small. Each day, take a moment to reflect on the things you're thankful for. It could be as simple as appreciating a quiet morning, the kindness of a stranger, or the beauty of nature. The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it becomes. Over time, it becomes a habit that shapes your outlook on life, fostering greater contentment and reducing stress. It's important to remember that gratitude is not about perfection. Life is messy, and we will face difficulties. But the beauty of gratitude is that, no matter what happens, it can always guide us back to a place of peace. It teaches us that no matter how challenging life may be, there is always something, big or small, that is worth appreciating. Conclusion: finding true fulfillment through gratitude. At the end of the day, the pursuit of happiness doesn't have to be about chasing more. It's about appreciating what we already have. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that true fulfillment lies in recognizing the abundance around us and being thankful for it. When we focus on what's good in our lives, we find ourselves more peaceful, more content, and more connected to the present moment. So, the next time you find yourself longing for something more, take a step back. Ask yourself what you're already grateful for. It might just be the key to finding the peace and joy you've been searching for all along. Number 10, keep learning and growing. The Stoic path to personal growth and calm life is a constant journey of change, challenges, and growth. Every day brings new opportunities, but it also presents obstacles. It's easy to get stuck in the idea that once we reach a certain point, we'll have everything figured out. But Stoicism teaches us a different lesson. The journey of learning and personal growth never ends. Stoicism encourages us to continue learning, growing, and improving ourselves, no matter where we are in life. The great Stoic philosophers like Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, and Seneca all emphasize the importance of personal growth, both intellectually and emotionally. They believe that true wisdom comes not from knowing everything, but from always striving to become better and stronger. The power of lifelong learning. One of the fundamental ideas in Stoicism is that life is constantly unfolding, and so should our ability to respond to it. The more we learn, the better equipped we are to handle life's challenges. When we stop learning, we stop growing, and when we stop growing, we start to stagnate, making it harder to stay calm and composed when adversity strikes. Learning isn't just about acquiring knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge to improve the way we live, think, and act. It's about pushing ourselves to see beyond the surface, to understand deeper truths, and to apply those truths in a practical way. This applies to both our mental and emotional states. As Stoics, we're taught to examine our thoughts, reactions, and behaviors, and to make constant improvements. Facing challenges with growth in mind. Challenges are a natural part of life. In fact, they are often the very things that shape and define us. Stoicism teaches us that facing challenges is not something to fear, but rather an opportunity to grow. When we approach life's obstacles with the mindset of continual learning, we develop the resilience needed to stay calm under pressure and to navigate through tough times with wisdom and clarity. Take a moment to think about the most difficult times in your life. What did you learn from those moments? How did those challenges shape you into the person you are today? Every hardship you face offers a lesson if you're open to learning. And the more you embrace this idea, the more you'll find yourself able to handle future challenges with calm and grace. The calm that comes with growth. Personal growth is the antidote to stress and anxiety. When you feel like you're constantly striving to become better, there's no room for unnecessary worry. You know that each obstacle is part of the process of self-improvement. Stoicism teaches that the key to maintaining inner peace is not avoiding challenges, but learning how to face them with equanimity. The more you grow, the more equipped you become to handle whatever life throws at you. As you continue your journey of self-improvement, remember that growth is a process, not a destination. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you were yesterday. With each step forward, you'll find more confidence, more peace, and more wisdom to navigate life's challenges. How to keep growing. The Stoic way, reflect on your day. Stoic philosophers practice daily reflection, considering what went well and what could have been improved. This simple practice helps us recognize areas where we can grow and develop. Read and learn constantly. Learning doesn't have to stop once you leave school. Whether it's reading Stoic texts, exploring new fields of interest, or learning from the people around you, keep your mind sharp and curious. Challenge your beliefs. To grow, we need to be open to new perspectives. Stoicism encourages us to examine our own assumptions and beliefs critically. Questioning our thoughts helps us improve our responses and become more open-minded. Embrace discomfort. Growth often requires stepping out of our comfort zones. Stoics believe that discomfort is an opportunity to grow, so embrace challenges as chances to improve yourself. Conclusion. Keep evolving. The Stoic philosophy reminds us that personal growth is a lifelong pursuit. There's always room to become wiser, more resilient, and more at peace with ourselves. When we commit to constant learning, we set ourselves up to face life's challenges with a clear mind and a steady heart. So if you're ready to embrace the Stoic path of learning and growth, remember that every step you take brings you closer to the calm, resilient version of yourself that you are meant to be. If you enjoyed this video and want more Stoic wisdom to guide you on your journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community at Stoic Living. Let's continue learning and growing together. Subscribe now and start your journey toward wisdom, peace, and personal growth today.